This is called Welcome to My History, guys and gals and pals who are listening. If you could invite two historical figures to a private screening of any moment in your life that you're proud to showcase, Rick, which two historical figures would you invite and why? And which moment in your life would you screen for these two guests and why?
And the people that I would have, number one would be Jesus. Number two would be Rabbi Grossman from Migdal Or over in Israel. To explain who Rabbi Grossman is, he is probably a male version of Mother Teresa. I'm on the board of the charity over there, and what this man has done to save the lives of so many children from around the world, Jewish children, and bring them over to Migdal Or, and to take them as infants, and to have foster homes for them, and then get them into schools, and then they go on and graduate, and they go on and they, of course, serve in the military there. When you see him, you know there's just something incredibly special about this man. And the way that these kids gravitate him is almost like the Pied Piper. If he were playing his flute going down the street, they would all follow him and go off the cliff. The most important thing in life is your family. And so if you can see things happen for your children that are really dramatic and really special, you're blessed. A young man that I brought into this world to have that experience, to win that, to help win that national championship and be a part of something so incredibly special. I'll never forget that. And the second one is for my other son, Brent, and he's number 3 son. For Brent to be able to be there when all that he went through, had a chance to be on the San Antonio Spurs and win the ultimate accomplishment in professional sports, was to win the world championship, and he won that with the San Antonio Spurs. And then the third thing is my youngest son, Canyon, number 5. He worked hard, overcome injuries, overcame a lot of things, and helped the United States to qualify for this past Olympics in Paris. Forget in my life, all the things that I have accomplished and stuff were great. I certainly have fond memories for those. And to be able to have Jesus and to have Rabbi Grossman there to see, especially in Jesus' part, to give me the life that I had, to be able to have moments like that because of him, what was able to happen to me with my children as much as he loves children.
I would invite Nelson Mandela because he stayed in prison for 27 years, and to come out with no anger, no hate, and against the people who persecuted him, and to bring South Africa together as president of South Africa. It was just an awesome thing to know this man, to meet this man, and to just see how his heart was so at peace. And my next one was Martin Luther King, to see how he fought for civil rights in America, to see just what it took and all of the abuse, the dogs and everything, but again, staying with the peace that Rick was talking about earlier. 43 years ago, I decided to go into recovery from substance abuse. Cocaine was my brand. And my first wife, Iman, who was later married to David Bowie, she got me into seeing a psychologist. And I used to bring my daughters to my meetings. And one of my daughters, Shakira, Dr. Shakira, decided that she wanted to be a psychiatrist. I'm so proud of my girls. One runs Iman Inc., my oldest daughter, Zuleika, and my next daughter is a professor at Lincoln University. I feel so blessed. I feel so blessed because I'm on this call with Tom Holland and with Rick Barry. Rick Barry has taught me so much.
There are so many stories that probably should get told, maybe in a very, very entertaining fashion by some of the studio systems like the ones I work for. Do you think that would help the youngsters in the game today appreciate their forefathers, much like yourself and Spencer, who pioneered this game and elevated it the way that you guys did?
Doesn't seem like it would, because they don't seem to appreciate it. Not very many of them do. They've been spoiled since they were young people, and it's just gotten a little bit out of hand. And we have great respect and appreciation for those players who do speak about the people who came before them, who laid the groundwork for them to be able to have the amazing lives that they have.
And I've always thought it would be fascinating if I could get together into the sitting room with African staff and Robert Bloch, who wrote the original Psycho novel, and Joe Stefano, who wrote the screenplay to the Psycho, and show them Psycho 2 and see if I could see what they thought of it, end up the Psycho series that it spawned.
If you were to invite the two people that you admire most, who were those two people?
John Ford and Alfred Hitchcock, the two greatest American directors.
I want to bring in Mr. Stevie Ray and see who he votes for and why for this first topic. You got to pick one, though, Stevie.
We're just going to get down to one. I would have to say Rick, because I can relate to how he feels and what he says about his kids, man.
If he could instill one piece of advice in a newborn's baby's mind, what advice would he give and why? Tom, the floor is yours.
If you can find something that you're passionate about, it will give you a life. A lifetime, you know, a lifetime. Well, when it's in your lifetime, that's a wonderful gift. You can tell every young person to find it, to it.
To my grandson, who was just born 2 weeks ago, almost 3 weeks now, I would give him advice that, you know, get a firm education, because his mother's a doctor, and so, you know, he would have to have that education. But also, I would put a basketball in his hand and say, hey, man, work at this. You will be able to get an education. You will be able to perhaps go into the NBA.
But the one thing would be take pride in everything that you do and always give your best effort. Now, along with that, you can't be afraid to fail. Intelligent people learn by the mistakes that they make, but whether it's in the classroom, on the basketball court, the wrestling arena, wherever you happen to be, everything that you do in life, you must give your best effort. You'll be a happier person for it. And if you're not afraid to fail, you'll become a better person.
This is why, Rick, Tom, Avi, that I love coming on this show with you, because it's always this history, like the history that Rick is talking about, the history that Tom is talking about. You get so much out of this. And this is, I am like a student. I'm just sitting there listening and learning. My gosh.